Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Rachel, and as you can tell from the beealyzer, and from the bees, and from just generally everything, I guess, a lot's been happening since the last time we were here. Set up some bees, set up that tree thing that we'll go look at in a minute, and did a lot of caving. I'm finding I really like caving in Feed the Beast, which is funny because I really hate it in vanilla. Maybe it's just because it's safer and easier to navigate with the jetpack. Speaking of jetpacks, mine needs charging. So why has it been so long? Well, I recorded most of those episodes that you watched about a week ago and then put them up sporadically. And then I got some feedback asking me to put headphones on or use a microphone so that you don't have to hear that annoying fan noise that you're probably listening to right now. And I agree, you shouldn't be forced to listen to that. So I ordered a headset, and I ordered a new pair of headphones, because I am the master of breaking headphones. So that should be coming in soon. This will hopefully be the last video you ever have to listen to with that obnoxious fan sound. So, I was putting off making a new episode until then, but I decided that I just couldn't put it off anymore. Too much has happened in this beautiful world for me to wait any longer. Let's do some bees, okay? I think I've got some hives that are finished. Now, you may or may not know anything about bees or forestry or the whole concept. So I'll give you a quick rundown. Bees are found in hives in nature. Just anywhere. They come in a variety of different types based on the biome that you find them in, and you make this little thing called an apiary, or you get it from a bee villager, an apiarist villager, and then you put two bees in there, a princess and a drone, in order to start breeding your bees. Now, bees produce honeycombs, and those honeycombs can have there are many different types of honeycombs. I'll show you a few of them. For example, here we have some frozen comb, some silky comb, parched comb, mossy comb, stringy comb. All these combs produce different things when you centrifuge them. Centrifuges, this is my centrifuge. Centrifuges are used to get the good stuff out of the honeycomb. The regular old honeycomb produces honey drops and beeswax. Beeswax is used in a variety of things. You can make capsules actually, with it, which help you transport liquids, and then honey drops are used to make honey. They're also used in the beealyzer. The beealyzer allows you to analyze your bees and find out more about their traits. So see this cultivated princess down here? It's unknown. I'll stick her in the beealyzer, and suddenly now we know a whole bunch about her. We know that she's got cultivated and cultivated as her species, that her the stuff on the left are the active traits, the stuff on the right are the inactive traits. Think of it kind of like a Punnett square from genetics or biology, whatever class taught you about the Punnett square. We have active traits and inactive traits. The inactive traits bees can still pass on to their offspring, but they're not seen in that bee. The red and the blue denote which traits are dominant versus which traits are recessive. If there's a blue trait, it's more likely to overwrite the red trait when the bees are bred. So the second page, that's the first page, shows you active and inactive traits. The second page shows you temperature, climate, and other things. The cultivated bees have normal, but they don't have any special tolerances. They're not nocturnal, they're not flyers, and they're not okay with caves. That means they don't work at night, they can't work in the rain, and they can't work while there's anything over their heads. You can see that this cultivated princess has been in captivity for 24 generations, so it's been bred 24 times to get here. It only produces regular old honeycomb. This is the list of mutations that are possible. Once we find out more about what cultivated bees can mutate into, we'll find out more to fill that. And then this is just some clever flavor about the bee. And that's what happens. When I breed bees, usually, it depends on what I'm looking for. If I'm looking to mutate the bee into something new, I'll try to select the right bees that go along with the mutations that I'm aware of. There are a lot of different spreadsheets on the internet that I can find that list what bees I need. Right now I'm trying to breed some cultivated bees into pure cultivated bees that I can just run forever and ever, get as many cultivated bees as I want, have all their offspring be the same. And that's what I've done over here with these common bees. You can see I've got a common princess and 3 common drones that are all the same. Bees that are exactly identical will stack, exactly identical in every way. If they're not exactly identical in every way, they will not stack. That's what I'm trying to do with these cultivated bees that are in my inventory right now. In this hive over here, I've been trying to breed the ideal cultivated bee. How do I do that? Well, I want my ideal cultivated bee to be fast, and I want it to have fertility of 3. I would like it to have a longer lifespan, but that's really hard to achieve right now, and the mod Extra Bees adds a couple extra features that'll help me get it to a longer lifespan. But for now I want as good a bee as possible. So that's this princess. We made 2 drones. Let's take a look at what we've got. This drone has 2 times fertility as its dominant trait right now. That's its active trait, sorry. Right now. So that's a little bit less than ideal, but it does have the same thing on both sides for everywhere else. What I'm really trying to do is breed 2 bees that have the same exact things on both sides so that I can get just the same chunk of offspring over and over and over. As we can see, none of these bees fit the bill. But maybe we have some cultivated bees somewhere else. Those are commons. What do we have over here? Over here we're breeding diligent bees. What's over here? Ah, here's some cultivated bees. Let's take a look at these bees. This hive I'm using right now to try to get onto the noble tree of bees, which is a lot more difficult than it sounds. So what's this princess? Oh, it's diligent. We do not want a diligent princess. We will have to make sure to get that out. We already have a diligent bee. But here's a pure cultivated bee. But we definitely don't want to be breeding this guy with our purebred cultivateds. It's got a slower side. Yeah, we'll skip on that one. And then what do we have here? Common cultivated? Alright. So on this hive, we probably want to put in a purebred cultivated bee on the off chance that the diligent will go away, because we don't want diligent. We already have diligent over here. We would not like diligent. But over here, let's go back to the cultivateds. So we know we want our princess. And our princess is shortest, 3x. I think there was a drone that was shortest. Yeah, there was, but it doesn't have both 3s. Let's give that one a shot. So now what we do is we put in the drone and the princess. And you'll see on the left over here, they're about to become a cultivated queen. And then that bee will make things, honeycomb, and drones when it dies. Frames change the productivity and lifespan of a bee. The impregnated frame is a basic forestry frame. All it does is help increase the production of a bee. There are other frames that are added by Extra Bees that allow you to do other things. So let's finish up over here. We know we're going to put in this princess. The only way to get more princesses is to get them out of hives, which is unfortunate. So we want to keep working on this princess until we really can't take it any longer. Now, it's a little worrisome because diligent mixed with cultivated can continue mutating down that what's the word I'm looking for? Species line, I guess? But cultivated and cultivated won't mutate into anything. We don't want to give it common, because common and cultivated mutate together. And that could make it a purebred diligent bee. There's also some random mutation chance, which we can't discount as being possible. For example, my purebred diligent bees in that other hive just came about because of a random mutation. So why don't we put the fast bee in here? We like fast bees. We like them a lot. Over here, we just take the princess, take the comb, dump off one of the drones. We don't even have to analyze these. We know we like them. But we'll analyze these two so that they stack with the others. in there, in our apiary's chest. The apiary's chest fits 5 pages of bees, and they only stack, as I've said, if they're exactly the same. So those 2 bees you saw went right into this stack. These 2 bees, although they both say Forest Meadows hybrid, slowest worker, shorter life, they're not exactly the same, which is why they won't stack. Also, sometimes there's a bug where bees just straight up won't stack. Even though this bee has the same traits as the common drone on the front page, they won't stack because they're slightly different. All the bees that I'm keeping in here are non-hive bees. That means they didn't come from a natural hive. Hive bees and bees that are purebred with themselves are over here. These are where I kept all the bees that I've gotten out of hives so far, as well as bees that I've bred. For example, I took two forest bees that came right out of a hive, a forest princess and a forest drone, and I bred them over and over and over again, and now I have a stack of 40 forest drones. It's good to keep some extra bees, just in case you run out, in case a random mutation ruins your purebred bee. And I would prefer not to have to go looking for another forest hive if I really need more forest bees. I did the same thing with Meadows drones. You'll note that I don't have a Meadows princess here, and that's because I've bred the Meadows princesses. So right now, let's hop over here to the Diligent princesses. What we want to do now with the Diligents, what I'm trying to do at least, is perfect the Diligent line. Breed up a bunch of Diligent drones, and then move the Diligent, and then try to mutate the Diligent bee into whatever's next down its line. I don't remember what that is, I'm sorry. So here we have fast, slower, shorter, shortest. Let's see if there's any other bees that are similar. That one seems pretty similar. What's the difference? Oh, there's a lot more difference in there than I thought. Well, where did that bee go? Ah, this was the one we weren't looking at, right? Or was it? I believe this was the bee we weren't looking at. This bee looks a little more promising for combining. I don't like the way fast. Neither of them are both fast. But this bee doesn't have both fast either, does it? No. Okay. So we're just going to have to trust to chance. However, these both have pollination slow and 2 times fertility. Does this one also have pollination slow? No, this one has a weirdness in the pollination. So we're going to go with these 2 bees. And hope that maybe, just maybe, we get a pure bee that we can breed with itself. Right now what I do is I put comb back in there, and I put the beealyzer and beeswax in there. And then I take new comb, regular plain old honeycomb, over here to the centrifuge, drop it off, and then turn it on. Whoops, didn't mean to do that at all. So how I'm running the centrifuge is with an electrical engine connected to an advanced solar panel. Got a bunch of advanced solar panels. Don't really use them because I didn't make them. They came to me from Jake, but use what you got, you know? Right now it's about to be nighttime, so that will very much decrease the efficiency of my solar panel. So why don't we hop into bed real quick? I love that. I don't know why it does that, but every time I hop into this bed, it makes me fall off to the side. It's so funny. And now this should continue working, generating more. What do we have over here? Yep, it's working. Let's check out this other thing that I made. This is a tree farm, made by yours truly. It's part of the new forestry multifarms. It was originally running off an advanced solar panel, just like the one over there, but Jake upgraded it to an ultimate hybrid solar panel. These things are nuts. As you can see, they generate 512 EU per tick, and they output the same. I never have to worry about this multifarm running out of power, even though it's running more than just the multifarm. You can see there's an electrical engine here. What you can't see, and I spent a lot of time making this system hidden, but what you can't see is over here, there's a furnace. Why is there a furnace, you might ask? Let me get the dirt on my bar so I can hide it. The furnace is so that I can send down wood and have it burned. burned into charcoal, all nice and easy with the flick of a switch, and then it gets pulled back out to another charcoal barrel. You can see that furnace is also being powered by the solar panel. It's got 2 transformer upgrades in it because the electric furnace runs at it runs at 32 EU per tick, I believe, and the ultimate hybrid outputs 512, which is just too much. I accidentally exploded the first electric furnace I tried to put down here, actually. And I've put in 3 overclocker upgrades. I thought that would be enough, but it still backs up, so maybe eventually I'll try putting a 4th in. Redstone engines powering the buildcraft pipes, you know, the drill. So what's a multifarm? A multifarm is the replacement for forestry's old-style farms. I liked the old-style farms. The big thing I don't like about the new forestry multifarms is their shape. They're shaped like a a diamond. Minecraft is a square game. Everything's square. You'll look, Jake's solar panel arrays are all square. His turtle thing is square. My Barrow Hill is square. Everything's square. The old forestry farms, which actually there's a farm. It was just called a farm. There's a farm which was for seeds that was built over here that's been abandoned since. But this farm, this thing over here, this is what the old forestry farms used to look like. Water, dirt, couple machines in the middle, nice and easy, and square. It fit in nice and neat with everything else. The new multi-farms, not square. You can't make them square. You can, I guess, put dirt around them to make them square, make them look square, but it doesn't really do anything, and it kind of just looks weird. So, not square, kind of annoying. Don't like it. But what I do like about the multi-farm, there's a lot of cool things about it. First of all, it's fully customizable. You can make each of these 4 sockets a different kind of farm. So right now they're all tree farms because I haven't gotten around to changing anything. But if you want, you can turn this one into a wheat farm, and this one into a peat bog, and this one into a netherwort farm. Whatever you want. It's pretty simple, it seems at least. You just have to solder the right electron tube on or some other thing that probably actually sounds really complicated to you. Down here it takes fertilizer, which is made with apatite and dirt. Over here is where I put in the dirt and the saplings, and this is where stuff would hang around and wait if it could, but it doesn't because I've got another redstone engine powering another wood transport pipe pumping out everything as soon as it comes in. Water. The multi-farm is kept fully supplied with water underneath this valve. This is a valve block by an aqueous accumulator with water on both sides of it. The cool thing about the multi-farm, this is a multi-block, and it's fully customizable. So right here I've got the valve, which takes water. Over here takes power. Forget what it's called, I'm sorry. And over here are the hatches. I've got 2 hatches in here right now, but I could add more. I could take out this block and add a hatch. I could take out this block and add a hatch. I could take out this block and make it take power. I could take out a block up there and make it take water if I wanted. You can't take out this 3rd row, but you can take out every other row. As for everything else, what I've got is I've got that redstone engine and wooden pipe outputs everything to out here. So here's where the saplings go, and over here is where the sand, the apples, and the wood go, and over here is where the charcoal from that furnace goes. If you want to start making charcoal, you can just flip the switch, and that will turn on, actually why don't I show you rather than just telling you. That will turn on some redstone, which will turn on this redstone engine, which will turn on this buildcraft pipe, which will start pumping wood down towards the furnace. Over here, there's also a switch. This switch does not go to the sapling thing like you might believe. No, this switch goes to this dirt bin. It was my hope that I could leave that on and pump dirt in somehow. The difficult thing about the multi-farm, difficult thing about Minecraft, Feed the Beast, is that it's pretty difficult to make sure that something is only pumping items when it needs them. So for example, with that furnace down there, sometimes I would have an overflow of wood coming out at it, and the wood would just be spilling out all over the place. It would get completely wasted, because there's really no way at this level that I'm at to teach pipes not to send things if the thing they're receiving isn't ready. I'm not even sure that you can do that with items and with the multi-farm and the furnace and barrels. I really think that that kind of thing is more reserved for other mods. I don't think barrels are compatible with that, sadly. There's a staircase in case I'm out of jetpack power. I have run out of jetpack power recently, so that's been a problem. So for now, I'm just keeping dirt in here and adding more into it. Jake has barrels of dirt over here that are over full from when he was quarrying out this area with turtles, and he said I can keep using that dirt. So that's where we're getting our dirt from. Here's a barrel full of fertilizer that I also manually put in. You know, it's not a problem to do things manually, even in Feed the Beast where everything's about automation. Sometimes it's just kind of nice to have things done that you need to do manually. How are we doing over here on the centrifuge? We're done. Let's turn this off. Even though it doesn't really matter, all that power is completely renewable. Before I end this episode, which has really been a talky episode, sorry. I know you people love to see me get scared at caves. Before I end this episode, I'll show you, I've got another hobbyist steam engine down here that I've added that helps create a little more power up here. Got a chest where I keep wood and charcoal. Charcoal powers these Stirling engines for the carpenter and the squeezer and the thermionic fabricator. Oh good, it looks like I have enough seed oil to make some more impregnated frames. That's very good. Oh my god, I have to show you this. This packager, this is called the packager. You saw it right there. It's made like this, with these things. I think this is from Factorization. The packager is my favorite thing. Okay, so let me show you what it does. Packager takes items, and you stick them in there, and it turns them into the block, the full block. If it's capable of being turned into the full block, that's what it does. It makes the block. Like, yes, I know you can do that in the crafting grid, and I can use the crafting grid to turn them back. No, you can't, because it's Feed the Beast. But you could do that in the crafting grid just as easily, but it's just so much nicer. When you have all that zirconium, like look, I've managed to keep my zirconium at lower levels. Now I'm keeping my zirconium blocks over here with the shards. The packager just makes them. I just stick the zirconium that I got from caving in there, and blammo. Speaking of Thaumcraft, this bookcase, this sad, sad bookcase, is very sad because I've been trying to whack it with a wand for ages. I brought my Wand of the Apprentice out, I don't know, 2,000 blocks in a couple directions. Nothing. Nothing at all. Quite. But the Mindcrack Pack was updated over the weekend. I think it was over the weekend at least. And hopefully something will reset the nodes and everything will be happy. I would really like to start playing with Thaumcraft, but I can't. It would make me really happy if that all got fixed. Well, I don't want this episode to drag on too long, so I'm gonna head upstairs and look at my bees and then sign off, just so that we can take a look and see how the bees are doing. Maybe we'll have gone through a full life cycle so that you can see the results of each of those hives that we looked at. No. Yes, okay. But this one, we knew that was going to be the results of any of the others. Oh, okay. So we've got more diligent princesses and more diligent drones that are still not perfect, sadly. We have the same over here. Yeah, we've got more cultivateds that are not perfect as well. So, if you'd like, we can take a look at the diligence at the very least. I still have that diligent princess from before in here. Or drone, sorry. Let's take a look at all of these. Take out the comb. How's our princess this time? Oh, look! Look at that! Now we've got a pure bee that's got the same thing on both sides. Let's see if we have any other bee that has the same things like that. No. And maybe? Oh, fast, slower right there. But fast, 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 slower. That's the only thing that's different. If we breed these together, we might be able to get a purer bee than if we try with the others. See, this one has three things different. This one has 4, 5 things different. So it's pretty clear that we want to go with these two. They're the closest to each other. So we'll put those back in, and the same thing will happen. Except it probably won't start yep, nope, it's not daytime. Because it's not daytime and they're not nocturnal, nothing happens. Alright, seriously, this has gone on far too long, so I'll leave you with this image of this. I'll leave you with this image of my hive bees and combs, and I hope you enjoyed hearing about bees and about forestry things. It's one of my favorite mods, and I look forward to doing a lot more with it in the future. So, I mean, if you didn't like hearing about forestry, maybe this isn't the right Let's Play for you, so, honestly. But if you didn't like it and you can think of some way to improve it, feel free to let me know. Great talking to you guys. See you next time.